GeneralHospital latest update: Tracy forces Nina to betray Sonny or lose Willow forever, while Sonny locks up Marco and demands Sidwell back off or never see his son again. Drew threatens Michael, Willow breaks down, and Michael sends Daisy away. Secrets, threats, and blackmail erupt across Port Charles. Tracy blackmails Nina, and Sonny gives Sidwell orders in exchange for Marco's freedom. Today on GeneralHospital, Sasha and Daisy prepare to say goodbye to Nina. Drew warns Carly that Michael will lose everything, and Sidwell begs for Lucas' help. In the Quartermaine sunroom, Tracy meets with Nina for afternoon tea. Nina is surprised she called her as they aren't friends. Tracy has a proposition for her that will benefit both of them. Tracy explains she doesn't want Gio to grow any closer to Sonny than he already is, as Sonny's family often gets harmed because of his work. Tracy wants Nina to use her media connections to convince the people to vote yes on Measure C. Nina says that at his core, Sonny is a good man, and forcing him to leave town could result in someone worse taking his place. Tracy doesn't care, as all she's concerned about is Joe's safety, listing off what's happened to Christina, Michael, and poor Morgan. Tracy knows Nina cared about Sonny once, but reminds her that her grandchildren are also connected to Sonny, so she would think Nina would want him gone for their safety. To go against Sonny, Nina says she needs an incentive. She says if Tracy convinces Michael to let Willow see her children, she might agree to her plan. Tracy tells her that she's misread her generosity and thought she could extort a favor from her. So now they will do this the hard way. Tracy tells Nina that either she speaks out against Sonny, or she'll tell Willow that she slept with Drew behind her back. Nina asks where Tracy would get an idea like that. Tracy says from the PI Ned hired, who taped Cody's drunken outburst at the Brown Dog, exposing their affair. Nina says Drew and Willow weren't a couple when, and it was brief and meant nothing. Tracy laughs that she sounds like every cheating spouse that ever lived. So, what will it be? Will she protect Sonny, or her relationship with Willow? Nina notes Tracy's been at war with Drew for months, so why hasn't she used this against him? Tracy felt it would be better used against her, and they will sell a story that Nina realized how dangerous Sonny was, and that is why she left him. If she doesn't play ball, she loses Willow. Nina says she'll do what Tracy wants and storms out, but says to herself, I won't forget this, Tracy, you just messed with the wrong bitch. Michael moves against Willow. At the hospital, Willow says hello to Michael and Sasha. She sees Daisy and assumes they are there for a checkup. She asks Michael how her children are doing. Michael says Amelia is fine, but Wiley is upset and confused thanks to her. Willow says they are her children and don't need to be protected from her and warns Sasha it's only a matter of time before Michael tries to separate her from Daisy. Michael becomes angry and tells Willow she is the one who upset Wiley, and she is the one who broke the rules. Wiley's tears were a reminder that she can't be trusted with him and Amelia. He has had Diane contact the court, and the visitation hearing has been rescheduled for October. Willow cries he can't do this, as another 3 months is an eternity. Michael suggests she use the time to get her life in order and leave Drew. She refuses to leave Drew, and asks Sasha how she can let Michael do this to her. They were once friends, so why isn't she speaking up as someone who has lost a child? Deanna interrupts and tells Sasha that she is ready for them and hears they are taking an international trip. Willow tells Michael he better not be taking her children out of the country. Michael says he's not. Michael and Sasha have Daisy checked out, and she's cleared for travel. Sasha wishes it didn't have to be this way, and she would have loved for Michael to be part of his daughter's life. Michael knows this is the right decision, and whoever is targeting Daisy is likely doing so because of him and his father. He cries that he will miss Daisy, and he'll miss her. Where is Marco? In Marco's empty room at the Metro Court, Lucas worries to Carly that Sonny has taken him. Carly says he's jumping to conclusions, but he says this is why he asked her to talk to Sonny. Carly says she did, and he warned her to stay out of it. Lucas says he'll go to the church to see if he's there, but they both know that's a long shot. Drew makes a threat. Carly heads home and leaves a message with Sonny about Lucas and his concerns about Marco. Drew then shows up at her door, and she tells him she doesn't want to deal with him today. Drew suggests she hear him out, as this is the last chance to save her grandchildren. Drew wants her to talk to Michael about letting Willow see her kids. Carly says there is a visitation hearing in a few weeks, maybe Willow can prove she deserves to see her children then. Drew won't wait weeks, so either she convinces Michael to let Willow see her kids, or things will get ugly. Drew says he is willing to do whatever he can to help Willow see her children. Carly reminds him that he can leave her, as Michael will let Willow see the kids when he's not part of the situation. Drew insists that's not happening. Carly says Willow has proven over and over again that being with him seems to be more important than being with her own kids. Drew warns Carly that if Michael doesn't reconsider his position, then he'll have to go on the attack. Carly tells him that she's not impressed by his chest thumping, unlike Willow. Drew warns her that Michael's unwillingness to compromise will cost him everything. Drew walks off. Marco's locked up. At the warehouse, Marco screams from the room he's locked up in and says Sonny is making a mistake, and if something happens to him, his father will be out for blood. Jason tells an associate outside Marco's room that he's being annoying, but this place is well secluded, so let him scream. Jason has to leave, but orders the other man not to leave this door, and not to let Marco out. What does Sonny want from Sidwell? At the church, Sidwell asks Sonny what he's done with Marco. Sonny says he should be asking, "How do I get my son home in one piece?" Sidwell says if this is retaliation for the fire at his daughter's bar, well, his sources tell him Selena Wu was behind that. Sonny accuses him of framing her to retaliate against him for not selling his peers. He doesn't like involving kids, but his daughter almost died, so that makes his son fair game. Sonny says if Marco is in danger, it's not because of him, but because of Sidwell. Sidwell reminds Sonny that Marco saved Christina from that fire. Sonny tells Sidwell that he got his son into this, so get him out. He orders Sidwell to clean up this political mess and then get the hell out of his way. Sidwell rants that Sonny has alienated Port Charles, and that's why he will lose his peers. Sonny warns Sidwell that if he doesn't figure out something to do, then he'll never see his son again. Sonny orders him to pull his funding from Measure C, to stop Ezra Boyle and Drew Kane's campaigns against him, and stop the media attacks on him and Laura. Sidwell claims he has no control over what the media reports. Sonny suggests he figure out how to do it then, as both he and Marco are counting on him coming through. Lucas demands answers. Lucas arrives outside the church and confronts Jason, who is standing guard at the door. He asks if Marco is in there, but Jason says no, and that Sonny is talking with Sidwell. Lucas assumes Sonny is in there, telling Sidwell that he's taken Marco. Lucas begs Jason to tell him the truth. Is Marco going to die, or is he already dead? Jason says he can't have this conversation with him. Lucas cries that it's not right to drag innocent people into this war. Jason says Sidwell did that by going after Christina. Lucas asks when this ends. What if Sidwell goes after Avery, Donna, or Danny? Lucas says for all their talk of honor, innocent blood will be on his hands, and he and Sonny will be no better than Sidwell. Sonny walks out at that point and faces Lucas. Lucas begs Sonny not to do this and not to hurt Marco. He warns Sonny that if Marco doesn't show up alive, then he'll tell the police about his deal with Natalia and his plans to relocate her out of the country. Sonny says he won't tell them anything they don't know, so Lucas threatens to go to Drew. Sonny tells Lucas to do what he needs to. Left alone in the church, Sidwell looks at Natalia's portrait. Lucas walks in, and Sidwell tells him that Sonny has Marco, and he needs to intervene and save his son. Outside, Sonny informs Jason that Sidwell got the message and knows what he needs to do. Jason says Marco is safe and secure, but has no idea where he is. Back at the warehouse, Marco spots a chair and begins to holler that he has diabetes and needs something to eat for his blood sugar. The guard puts on a mask, grabs his gun, and opens the door. Marco hits him over the head with the chair when he enters. In the show's final moments, Sonny arrives at Carly's, having gotten her message. She tells him about Lucas' fears and asks where Marco is. Sonny informs her that it is none of her business. She begs him to rethink this, as more people will only end up hurt in the end. At the church, Lucas informs Sidwell that Sonny and Lucas won't listen to him. He doesn't have the ability to fix this, so whatever Sonny wants from Sidwell that he should give it to him. He says setting fire to Charlie's put a target on Marco's back. Sidwell accuses Lucas of taking Sonny's side, and that Sonny is the one who killed Natalia. Lucas says he is on Marco's side, and his life is in Sidwell's hands. Lucas storms out. Jason arrives at the warehouse and asks his associate, who has been beaten up, what happened. The man says it was nothing he couldn't handle. We see that Marco is now tied to the chair and gagged. Sasha and Daisy find Nina waiting in the Quartermain kitchen. She asks what brings her by. Nina explains she had a meeting with Tracy and thought she'd stick around to say hello. Sasha is glad she did, as she has to say goodbye as she and Daisy are leaving Port Charles. Michael talks with Tracy in the sunroom. He says Yuri said she was looking for him. Tracy says she is taking steps to make sure nothing happens to harm this family again. Michael says so is he, and he's sending Daisy away to keep her safe. He's about to lose his daughter. At the hospital, Drew arrives, having gotten a frantic message from Willow. She cries to him about Michael having the hearing delayed. Drew tells her not to worry, soon they'll have everything they need to take the kids away from Michael for good. On the next General Hospital, Drew promises Willow that Hay will give Michael a taste of his own medicine. Nina tells Sasha that she's the reason Daisy is in danger. Michael wonders, what's stopping me from leaving with Sasha and taking my kids? Stella tells Curtis that she has a beef with him. Portia smashes a photo in her office and screams. Tracy has a request to make of Jason. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.